Hello friends, welcome to Input Output Campus. So today in this video we'll discuss about coding questions which came in the previous coding test in the Accenture. Okay, and this coding question is important for your upcoming examinations because this is a prime number related question, and you know how important is the prime number for your competitive examinations. So we'll discuss the problem here and then we'll write the code. So the question is sum of the prime factor. Okay, so this is the question and we'll discuss it and then we'll write the code. Okay, the sum of the prime factors of a number. So suppose you are given a number. So suppose you are given an input. So your input is a number and this is suppose 20. Okay, and your output will be 7 for this input. So how your output will be 7 for this 20? So see friends, our input is given as 20. Okay, so this 20 can be divided by 1, by 2, and this cannot be divided by 3. Okay, so this can be divided by 4 and this can be divided by 5 and then 10. Okay, so these are the numbers which can be divided by 20. So from these numbers we have to find the prime factors. So which are the prime factors from this number? So from this number you can see here 2 and 5 are the prime number. Okay, so let's separate it. So 2 and 5. So these two are the prime numbers and these two also the prime factors of this 20 because these two numbers are divided by this 20. So what you have to do, you just have to add these prime factors. So 2 plus 5, that is 7. Okay, so this is the output. So here you can see this will be our output. So now how we will solve it? So we can solve it by checking if a particular number is divided by all the numbers below it or not, and if this is a prime number or not. Okay, so then we'll store it and add it and show it as output. So we'll write the code using C++. So first write here as include iostream using namespace standard and then the main function. So first you have to write the main function. Okay, so let's write here an integer variable, suppose I equals to 2, and let's write here a sum and our initial sum is 0. So we'll initialize with 0 and let's suppose there is a current factor. Let's suppose our current factor is minus 1. So now we'll write a while loop and we'll check if n is greater than 1, then we'll do a certain operation. So for that write here while n greater than 1, because 1 is not a prime number, so we'll check for n greater than 1, that is from 2, 3, 4. Okay, so while n greater than 1, we'll check here a condition, that is if n is completely divided by I or not. So here I is 2, so we'll check if n is completely divided by I or not. So completely divided means the remainder will be 0. So if n percentile I equals to 0 or not. So if this is 0, then we'll check another condition, if this I is not equals to current factor or not. So if this I is not equals to current factor, then we'll do sum equals to sum plus I. So our initial sum was 0 and this I will be added, that is this 2 will be added to this sum. Okay, and this I will be our current factor now. So current factor equals to this I. Okay, and after this we'll divide the n by this I. So n becomes n divided by I. So this is the if condition. So if n is not divided by I, then there will be a else condition, and in the else condition we will increase the value of I. Okay, so see friends, suppose our n is here 20. Okay, suppose our n is here 20. So 20 is greater than 1. Yes, 20 is greater than 1. And now we'll check if 20% I equals to 0. So our I is here, you can see 2, and 20 divided by 2. So 20% I equals to 0. So 20% I equals to 0, because if we divide 20 by 2, there will be no remainder. Okay, so this is true. And again, in this if condition, we'll check if I is not equals to current factor. So here you can see I was 2 and the current factor was -1. So I is not equals to -1. So now we'll store sum plus I into the sum. So our initial sum was 0 and I is 2. So 0 plus 2 will be stored. So 0 plus 2, that is 2. And these 2 will be stored into the sum. Okay. And I will be our current factor. So our current factor is -1 and I is 2. So now our current factor will be 2. And now we'll divide n by I. So our n was 20. So 20 divided by 2. That is 10. Okay. So this will be our new n. So else condition will not be executed. Now we'll check if this n. So now our new n is 10. So if this 10 is greater than 1. Yes, this 10 is greater than 1. So now we'll again check if n% I equals to 0. So n is 10. So 10% I. So I is 2. So 10% 2 equals to 0. Yes, 10% 2 equals to 0. Because 10 is completely divided by 2 and there will be no remainder. So we'll go inside of if condition, and here we'll check if I is not equals to current factor. So here you can see our I value is 2 and our current factor is becomes 2 here. Okay, so if 2 is not equals to 2, so this is false. So if condition will not execute. So we'll divide this n by I. So our I is 2 and our n is 10. So 10 divided by 2. So 10 divided by 2, which is 5. Okay, so else condition will not execute. So we'll go to this while loop again and we'll check this condition if 5. So our n is now 5. So if this 5 is greater than 1, is 5 is always greater than 1. So we'll go inside while loop and we'll check again if n% I equals to 0. That is 5% 2. So our n value is 5. So 5% 2 equals to 0. No. So 5 cannot be completely divided by 2. So there will be always a remainder. So this if condition will not execute. So we'll go to this else condition and we'll increase the I value. So our I value was 2. So we'll increase it. So our I value will be 3. Now we'll go to this while loop and check the condition if n is greater than 1. So our n was 5. So 5 is greater than 1. And now we'll check if n% I equals to 3. So n is 5 and I increases, that is I becomes 3. So 5% 3 equals to 0. That is 5 is completely divided by 3. No, 5 is not completely divided by 3. There will be a remainder. So we'll not execute this if condition. So else condition will be executed. So I value will be increased and the I value will be 4. So now again we'll check if n is greater than 1. Yes, n is greater than 1. That is 5 is greater than 1. Now we'll check again if 5% I, that is 5% this 4 is 0. So 5 is not completely divided by this 4. There will be a remainder. So this if condition will not execute. This else condition will be executed and the I value will be increased. So our I value was 4 and this will be increased to 5. Okay. Now again we'll check if n is greater than 5. Yes, n was 5 and this is greater than 1. So now we'll check if n% I equals to 0. So our n was 5 and I becomes 5 here. Okay, so here you can see I increased and it becomes 5 here. So if 5% 5 is 0, yes, 5% 5 is 0, because if we divide 5 by 5 there will be no remainder. So 5% 5 is 0. So if condition satisfied, so we go inside of condition. Now we will check if I not equals to current factor. So our current factor was 2 and our I is now 5. Okay, so 5 is not equals to 2. Yes, 5 is not equals to 2. So this is true. So we'll execute this if condition. So inside this sum, so the sum will be sum plus I. So our previous sum was 2. So this will be added with I. That is our new I is 5. So 2 plus 5, that is 7. Okay, 7 will be stored into this sum and the I value will be stored into the current factor, and I is 5 and 5 will be stored into the current factor and our current factor will be 5 here. Okay, so n will be divided by I, that is 5 divided by 5. So n is 5 and I is 5. So 5 divided by 5. So 5 divided by 5, that is 1. Okay, now our n becomes 1 and we'll go outside of this if condition and else will not execute. So we'll check while is 1 is greater than 1. Now this is false, so we'll go outside of this while loop and we'll return this sum. So our sum was 7 and we'll return this sum outside of this while loop. So return sum. Okay, so this is the whole code. So let's run this. Okay, there is an error in line number 9. Okay, in line number 9, and n was not declared in this scope. Okay, so n was not declared, so we have not given any input. So let's give an input here, int n cin n. Okay, so let's run it again. Okay, it's compiled successfully. So let's give some input here. It was 20. Okay, so there is no output because we have returned the sum from the main function, but we can't return it from here. So this should be output. So right here cout. Let's run it again. Okay, it's compiled successfully. So let's give it 20. Okay, our output is 7. So 5 plus 2, that is 7. So this is perfect output. So let's give some other input. So let's give here 3 1 5, that is 315. So this is 15. So because its prime factors are 7 3 and 5 and the sum of the 7 3 and 5 is 15, so that's why its output is 15. So hope you understand and enjoyed this video, and if you find this video helpful, then please like the video and subscribe it now and share it with your friends who are preparing for Accenture coding test. And thank you for watching this video. See you in the next video. Till then, take care.